Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. I'm Anna, and today I'm here with my friend Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex. I'm from Texas, and I've been teaching English for about 7 years now.
And I'm from California. I work as a content creator, and I use English every single day. So today we're going to talk about something that confuses a lot of English learners.
Yeah, it's one of those things that seems simple, but it's not always that simple.
Right? And the funny thing is, native speakers do this naturally without even thinking about it.
Exactly. So if you're ready, let's jump in and talk about the position of adjectives.
Yes, the position of adjectives. It sounds boring, but it's actually really important for sounding natural in English.
And it's way less complicated than people think once you understand the basic rules.
Okay, so let me start with a basic question. Alex, do you remember learning what an adjective is?
Oh man, yes. My elementary school teacher said, an adjective is a word that describes a noun. And I was like, okay, but what does that mean in real life?
Right, because in the classroom it's one thing, but when you're actually speaking or writing, it's different.
So let's start simple. An adjective describes something, right? Like a beautiful day. Beautiful is the adjective.
Yes, or a big house. Big is the adjective, it's describing the noun.
Okay, so that seems easy. But here's the thing, where do you put the adjective? That's where people get confused.
Exactly. So in English, you have two main positions for adjectives, before the noun or after the noun.
And which one is correct?
Well, both can be correct, but in different situations. That's what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, so it's not like one way's wrong, one way's right.
Right. It's more like one way is more common in certain situations, and the other way is more common in other situations.
Okay, I'm already interested. Give me an example.
Okay, so let's say you want to describe a cat. You could say a black cat. Black is before the noun.
Okay, that sounds right.
But you could also say a cat that is black, or you could say the cat is black.
Ah, so that's different.
Right, and in real English, native speakers usually say a black cat, not a cat black.
So before the noun is more common.
Much more common, and that's what we need to understand.
Okay, so most adjectives go before the noun.
Yes, most of the time, but there are exceptions, and that's what makes this interesting.
Okay, I'm listening. Tell me more.
So, the most common position for adjectives is before the noun. This is called attributive position.
Attributive. Okay, so adjectives before the noun are attributive.
Right, like a red apple, a tall building, a funny movie, an intelligent person.
These all sound completely natural.
Exactly, and this is probably 80% of the time that you use adjectives in English.
Okay, so most adjectives go before the noun. Got it.
But here's something interesting. Sometimes you have more than one adjective. What do you do then?
Oh, good question. Like a big red apple or a red big apple?
Exactly. And which one sounds right to you?
A big red apple sounds right. A red big apple sounds weird.
Exactly. So when you have multiple adjectives, there's actually an order. It's not random.
Wait, there's an order?
Yes, and most native speakers follow this order naturally, without even knowing the rule.
Okay, so what's the order?
So it's complicated, but the basic idea is size, color, other qualities. Usually go in that order.
So size first, then color.
Right. A big red apple is size plus color. That sounds right. But if you say a red big apple, it's color plus size. And that sounds weird.
That's so interesting, but I never thought about it before.
Right? Because you're a native English speaker in your head. You just know it sounds right.
What about, like, if you have 3 adjectives or more?
Okay, so it gets more complex, but the basic order is something like quantity, quality, size, shape, age, color, material, and then the noun. Okay, so there's like a system? There is, and it's called the adjective order. But don't worry, you don't need to memorize it exactly. Most of the time, if you say it with the biggest, most general qualities first, it sounds right.
Like a big, old red brick house?
Yes, big, old, red, brick, and then house. That sounds completely natural.
But if I say a red, old, big brick house,
That sounds really weird, like the order is wrong.
okay, so I guess native speakers just follow this order automatically.
Exactly. And if you're a learner, don't stress about it too much. Just listen to how native speakers say things, and you'll start to copy the order naturally.
Okay, so most adjectives go before the noun, but you said there are exceptions. When do adjectives go after the noun?
Great question. So, adjectives can go after the noun in specific situations. This is called predicative position.
Predicative. Okay, and when do you use this?
So, the main time is when you use the verb to be, like the apple is red.
Oh, so after the verb to be, the adjective goes after the noun?
Well, not exactly after the noun in the sentence. It's more like after the verb, like the structure is different.
Okay, so the apple is red. The adjective is not describing the noun directly, it's describing through the verb to be.
Yes, exactly. You got it. The apple is red. Here, red is describing the state of the apple, using the verb to be.
Okay, so what's another example?
The house is beautiful. The weather is cold. The movie is boring.
These all have the adjective after is.
Right, and this is called the predicative position because the adjective is in the predicate of the sentence.
Okay, but can you say the red apple and the apple is red? Are they the same?
They're similar, but not exactly the same. The red apple is using the adjective attributively to describe which apple. The apple is red is describing the state of the apple.
So the first one is like identifying which apple you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. The red apple, as opposed to the green apple. But the apple is red is just saying the color of the apple is red.
Oh, that's actually a really subtle difference.
Right? And that's why English is kind of tricky sometimes. But now let me tell you about some adjectives that only go after the noun.
Wait, what? Some adjectives only go after?
Yes. For example, adjectives like alive, asleep, afraid, these usually don't go before the noun.
So you wouldn't say an alive person?
No, you'd say a person who is alive, or the person is alive, but not an alive person.
Oh, so a sleeping baby is okay, but a asleep baby is not okay?
Actually, sleeping can go before the noun because it's more like a participial adjective, but asleep usually goes after. The baby is asleep is correct, and a sleep baby sounds weird.
So some adjectives just have this rule that they go after the verb to be, and you don't put them before the noun.
Right, and these are usually adjectives that describe a state or condition, like afraid, aware, awake, alive, asleep, available.
Okay, so those are special, but most adjectives can go before the noun.
Yes, most adjectives can go before the noun, but if you want to use the verb to be, they can also go after.
Okay, so we have before the noun and after to be. Are there other positions?
Good question. Yes, there are a few other situations, like with other verbs besides to be.
What do you mean?
So, if you use verbs like seem, look, appear, become, get, you can also put adjectives in the predicative position.
Like, the weather seems nice.
Exactly. The weather seems nice. The adjective nice comes after the verb, not before the noun.
And that's different from the nice weather?
Well, both are okay, but they're different. The nice weather is describing which weather. The weather seems nice is describing how the weather is through the verb seems.
Okay, so those verbs seem, look, appear, they work like to be.
Exactly. They're called linking verbs, and adjectives after them go in the predicative position.
What about something like, I feel happy?
Yes, I feel happy. That's predicative. Happy comes after the linking verb feel.
Okay, so there are a lot of linking verbs.
There are, and they all work the same way. The adjective goes after the verb.
What about adjectives that are part of a longer phrase, like if the adjective has something with it?
Oh, great question. So, if an adjective has a modifier or a phrase after it, it usually goes after the noun.
What do you mean?
Like, you could say, a difficult problem, but if you say, a problem difficult to solve, the adjective phrase goes at the end, after the noun.
Oh, so because there's more information after the adjective, it has to go at the end?
Right, like a girl interested in music instead of an interested in music girl.
Yeah, that second one doesn't make sense.
Right, so adjectives with extra information after them usually go after the noun.
That makes sense because it's clearer that way.
Exactly. The word order helps show what's describing what.
Okay, so we've talked about the basic rules, but what about in real conversations? How do people actually use this?
That's a great question. So, in real life, most people just follow their instincts. But let me give you some examples.
Please do.
Okay, so imagine you're at a coffee shop. You might say, I want a large iced coffee. Large goes before iced, and iced goes before coffee.
That sounds completely natural.
Right. But if you're describing how the coffee is, you might say, this coffee is cold.
And there the adjective comes after is.
Exactly. Now, let me give you another example. You meet a friend and you want to tell her about your date. You might say, he's a tall, handsome, intelligent guy.
And those adjectives all come before guy.
Right. But then later you might say, he seemed really interesting, or he was very kind.
And those adjectives come after the verbs.
Exactly. So in real conversation, we use both positions, depending on what we're doing.
So the position of the adjective actually changes the meaning or the feel of the sentence.
Yes and no. Like, A difficult test and the test is difficult mean kind of the same thing, but the emphasis is different.
How do you mean?
A difficult test is describing the test itself before you experience it. The test is difficult is saying what the test is like after you might have taken it.
Oh, so it's about when you're describing something before or after you experience it?
Kind of, yeah. It's about how the information is presented.
That's actually really interesting.
And that's why native speakers use different positions naturally. They're putting the information where it makes the most sense in the context.
Okay, so context matters.
A lot. English is very contextual.
All right, so what are the biggest mistakes people make with adjective position?
Oh, man. Okay, so the biggest one is probably putting the adjective after the noun when it should go before.
Like, a house big?
Exactly. A house big is wrong. You'd say a big house.
But wouldn't someone from another language do that? Like if their language puts adjectives after the noun?
Yes, that's exactly why. In languages like Spanish or French, adjectives usually go after the noun. So English learners from those languages will say things like a car red instead of a red car.
Okay, so that's a common error.
Very common. The second mistake is not following the order when you have multiple adjectives.
Like the red big apple thing?
Right. So people might say a small, yellow, beautiful house when the natural order would be more like a beautiful, small, yellow house or a small, beautiful, yellow house.
So the order is important.
It is. The most important qualities usually come first, then size, then color, then material.
What's another mistake?
Oh, using adjectives in the predicative position when you shouldn't. Like saying the weather is nice and cold and beautiful in a list, when you should say the weather is nice, cold, and beautiful.
So it's about comma usage.
Partially, but also about how they're connected. If you're listing qualities after is, you usually use commas.
Okay, what else?
Oh, people sometimes forget that adjectives like alive, asleep, afraid, these don't go before the noun.
So you wouldn't say an afraid child?
Right. You'd say a child who is afraid, or the child is afraid.
But you could say a frightened child.
Yes, because frightened is a participial adjective, and those can go before the noun. But afraid is a different type of adjective, and it usually goes after.
Okay, so there are nuances.
There are, but the good news is, once you're aware of the patterns, you'll start to notice them more.
Okay, so let's practice. Can you give me some sentences and I'll try to put the adjectives in the right place?
Sure. So I'll give you a sentence, and you tell me if it's correct or not.
Okay, go.
She wore a beautiful blue dress.
That sounds right. Beautiful before blue and blue before dress.
Correct. Now try this one. The pizza is hot and delicious.
That's correct too. Both adjectives come after is.
Good. Okay, this one. A nervous young man walked into the room.
Okay, so nervous and young both come before man. That seems right.
Perfect. You're getting it. Now, is this one correct? I'm very afraid of spiders.
Yes, because afraid goes after
Oh, wait. It goes after am, not before a noun.
Exactly. You caught that. I'm very afraid. Not, I'm an afraid person.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pattern.
Good. Now let me give you some that are wrong and you tell me how to fix them.
Okay.
I saw a dog brown and big.
That sounds wrong. It should be a big brown dog.
Yes, size before color. A big brown dog.
What if I say a brown big dog?
That's wrong. The natural order is big brown.
Okay, next one.
The test difficult was really hard.
That's definitely wrong. It should be the test was really difficult?
Right. The test was really difficult. The adjective comes after was.
Okay, so if you have a linking verb, the adjective follows it.
Yes. Now, one more. I am an interested person very in music.
Oh, that's really wrong. It should be I'm very interested in music.
Or, I'm a person very interested in music. When the adjective has a phrase after it, it usually goes after the noun.
Okay, I think I'm starting to understand this better now.
You are. And honestly, once you start noticing how native speakers use adjectives, it becomes more natural.
So it's about listening and noticing?
Exactly. Your brain will start to pick up the patterns.
So are there different types of adjectives that behave differently?
Great question. So there are descriptive adjectives and limiting adjectives.
What's the difference?
Descriptive adjectives describe qualities like blue, big, beautiful. Limiting adjectives point out or limit, like this, that, my, some, many.
Okay, so limiting adjectives are like demonstratives and possessives.
Right, and these usually come before descriptive adjectives and the noun.
So it would be like my beautiful blue dress?
Exactly. The limiting adjective my comes first, then the descriptive adjectives beautiful and blue, then the noun dress.
And if I said beautiful my blue dress, that would be wrong.
Yes, very wrong. The order is important.
Okay, what about numbers? Where do they go?
Numbers usually come early too, like 3 big red apples. The number comes first.
So the order would be like numbers, then limiting adjectives, then descriptive adjectives.
Basically, yes, though sometimes native speakers switch things around, but the general pattern is correct.
And what about participles, like broken or sleeping?
Good question. Participles that act as adjectives can go before the noun, like a sleeping baby or a broken window.
But we talked about asleep going after, right?
Right. Asleep is a different type of adjective than sleeping. Sleeping is more like an active process, so it goes before. Asleep is a state, so it goes after.
That's a subtle difference.
It is, but if you listen to native speakers, you'll start to feel the difference.
Okay, so there are a lot of subtleties.
There are, but the main rules are pretty simple. Most adjectives go before nouns, some go after linking verbs, and some have specific rules because of what type of adjective they are.
Okay, so let's use some real examples. Like, what would you actually say in a conversation?
Okay, so imagine we're talking about my new apartment. I might say, I just moved into a spacious, modern apartment in a nice neighborhood.
And that sounds totally natural.
Right. Spacious and modern describe the apartment before we know more about it. But then I might say, the apartment is bright and sunny, which is great because I love natural light.
And there, the adjectives come after is.
Because I'm describing the quality or state of the apartment.
So it changes based on how you want to present the information.
Exactly. Now let me give you another example. If you're talking about meeting someone, you might say, I met this interesting, intelligent woman at a coffee shop.
Those adjectives come before woman.
Right. But then later you might say, she was really funny and kind, and those come after was.
So you're describing your impression of her.
Yes, and this is how real English works. We switch between the two positions depending on the context.
Let me try to create a sentence. I bought a cheap, delicious meal at an old restaurant.
That sounds good. Cheap and delicious before meal, old before restaurant.
And what if I said the meal was cheap and delicious?
Perfect. That's also correct. Both ways of saying it are natural.
But they feel a little different.
Yes, they do. The first one is describing the meal as you're talking about buying it. The second one is describing how the meal was after you experienced it.
Okay, I think I'm really getting this now.
You are, and that's the whole point. Once you understand the concept, you can use it naturally.
Okay, so if someone is still confused about adjective position, what would you tell them?
I'd say, don't stress too much. The main rule is simple. Most adjectives go before the noun. That covers like 80% of situations.
And the other 20%?
Are linking verbs, where the adjective comes after. And then there are special adjectives like afraid and asleep that usually go after to be. But once you know those, you're pretty much set.
So it's not as complicated as it might seem at first.
Not at all. It's actually one of the simpler grammar topics once you understand the basic patterns.
And the best way to learn it is to listen and notice?
Yes. Listen to how native speakers use adjectives. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, read books. And after a while, your brain will automatically know where the adjective goes.
That makes sense. So it's about exposure and noticing.
Exactly. English is a language you learn by exposure and repetition, not just by memorizing rules.
I like that approach much better than just memorizing.
Me too. And that's why we try to teach grammar through real conversation, like we're doing here.
It makes so much more sense when you see it used naturally.
It does, and I think people are way more likely to remember it this way.
Okay, so the final takeaway is, most adjectives go before the noun. Linking verbs have adjectives after. Some special adjectives go after to be, and listen to how native speakers use them.
Perfect summary. You got it.
Thanks for explaining this so clearly.
Of course. This was fun.
So, thank you guys for watching this video about adjective position.
If this helped you understand English better, please like and subscribe for more videos like this.
And let us know in the comments, what's an adjective you use a lot? Do you put it before or after the noun?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. And if you have questions about other grammar topics, let us know.
Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.